some, so you mean pride.
Alright guys, I'm back again, here to show you one of the greatest NES games to buy for your money, and this of course is Donkey Kong Classics, which includes Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr. Two great games in one game pack, as it very, very loudly advertises right there. So, way to be very upfront with it, Nintendo, you know? But another really weird thing that I noticed about this game is that there's no Nintendo seal of quality, which is really kind of odd, because this is one of the very few NES games I've ever seen that doesn't have that. The only other ones I can think of are just the unlicensed games, so I don't know what the deal with that is, but I would definitely recommend getting this game rather than buying Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr. separately, because it is cheaper, and these are more plentiful, so I would definitely recommend going ahead and buying this game instead. So, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and pop it in the NES, and I'm going to show you guys how it's played. Alright guys, so here's the title screen for Donkey Kong Classics, and of course, I'm going to be official and play with the NES Advantage, because it has the arcade-style joystick and big buttons. And also, everyone always knows that only cool kids play NES games with the NES Advantage. That's right, everyone. You can be cool like me if you always play your NES games with the NES Advantage. Okay, maybe that wasn't really cool. That was more nerdy. But anyway, let's start the game before I embarrass myself again. We'll start off here with the original Donkey Kong, and in case you guys are wondering, the only difference between Game Mode A and B is that one is just faster than the other. Game Mode A is just a very standard, easy game. Game Mode B just moves a little bit faster. Other than that, they're the exact same. And as you can see already, the NES port of Donkey Kong is very easy compared to the arcade game. Which, if you guys have ever played the arcade game before, it's brutally hard. I mean, I can barely make it past the very first level. In fact, I think I can only recall one time I've ever played the arcade Donkey Kong where I've gotten past the first level. Because back when I went to Disney World a couple of months ago, the resort that I stayed at had an arcade machine there and I played it. And also a pizzeria that's actually just a couple blocks down my street has this game. So, yeah, I have played the arcade version of this quite a few times before, and I've never made it past that first level. I think only one time I've ever done that. But one thing that I think a lot of people have mentioned before, though, and I think I should mention as well, is that this game only has 3 out of the 4 levels that were in the arcade game, which kind of sucks, but at the same time it's not that big of a deal to me, because, you know, the levels themselves that are included in this game are just made so well, and because the game is easy, the games will last a little bit longer, which is, you know, a really welcoming thing for me, because I absolutely suck at video games, actually, but I just love to play them, even though I suck, and I also love to collect them, as you guys obviously know. So a very quick game because of the fact that there is only 3 levels, well, technically 4 if you're playing the arcade game. But of course it's an arcade game, so it's excusable. And the game just keeps looping over and over again until you lose all your lives. So, yeah, that's Donkey Kong. Great classic arcade game, and if you guys have never played any form of this game at all, whether it's on the Atari, or the NES, or the arcade, or the ColecoVision, or the Intellivision, or any of the Apple computers, just take my word for it and play this game right now, because you absolutely need to. So that's the original Donkey Kong, and I'm going to hit reset and go back, and now we'll check out Donkey Kong Jr. Now, a lot of people like to compare this game to the original Donkey Kong and say that it's a lot better. I'm going to have to be a part of that group because I really enjoy this game a lot. This is another one that I've actually played the arcade version before as well. Because remember that pizzeria that I mentioned that has this arcade machine? It's actually a Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong Jr., and Mario Brothers 3-in-1 machine. So I've also played this game in the arcade before. And this game is also very similar, but once again, like the original Donkey Kong, the difficulty has definitely been turned down significantly, so the games will last longer, which is great. And just like the Donkey Kong original in the arcade version of this is also brutally hard. The level 2 here is very unique because you have to do a lot of maneuvers to try to get to the top of the screen here, which I think is very, very intricate for an early 80s arcade game. This part right here, we had to drop onto this platform right here, always used to really annoy me because it's just such a small target to try to hit. And this part right here in the arcade is just nearly impossible, trying to dodge all these birds. But here on the NES version, it's just remarkably easier. But it's this level right here always in the arcade version that I can never get past because those birds just move so freaking fast and there's just so many of them. This game, however, does include all 4 levels that the arcade game had, which is also very nice, and another thing that I think just makes this one so much better than the original Donkey Kong. So just jump over the spark things and you'll do fine. The higher you go, the faster they move, as you can probably see from watching this. As soon as he starts to go back down, I start to move. Whatever. I think I have 1 more life left, I'm pretty sure. Hopefully I can beat this game for you guys before I completely lose all my lives. That'd be great. Alright, I'm almost there. Alright. Jump! Alright. Now we're on to the last level. And the whole idea here is to push up all the keys into the locks and free Donkey Kong Sr. from his cage. And another thing I really want to mention too is that this is the only game in history that I can think of at least where Mario is the bad guy. Well, a lot of people would argue that Super Mario Sunshine had Mario as the bad guy, but I guess that was like Dark Mario or whatever his name was, so I guess it doesn't really count, but still, it's just another neat thing worth mentioning. And Mario dies, as you can see. He comes back to life, kidnaps Donkey Kong once again, and the game just loops, just like the original Donkey Kong. So definitely a classic, just like the original. I definitely recommend playing this game over the original because I just think that it's just a lot more fun. And I think that's it. Wait. No, I have 1 more life. Okay. I'll just play through 1 more time. See how far I can get this last life. Okay. Apparently not very far. Is that it? Yep, that's it. Alright guys, so that is Donkey Kong Classics. Definitely a classic that I recommend that you guys buy instead of buying both of the games separately, because this is just a lot more convenient. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always guys, have a great day.